Hi, I'm going to show you how to crochet this very fine wire bracelet. So I'm using bullion wires. These are frizzled bullion wires from craftyattic.com. These are a very fine wire, and they'll be much finer than you can find on a reel, and that's how we get this lovely effect on this bracelet. So the bullion wires are supplied like this in a little coiled form, and you just need to stretch them out slightly. And I'm using two wires, slightly different colour, and that will give you a much nicer effect than just having a plain colour. So I've just got these two wires, I've stretched them out, and I'm just going to now form a little loop as I would to begin crocheting with any sort of thread. And I've got a little clasp here, so I'm just going to thread the wire through the clasp and just begin this bracelet project off. So if you're used to crocheting with fine thread, you won't really find this too much more difficult. The only thing is that you can't unpick it. So you need to be sure that what you're doing is what you mean to be doing. The only other thing working with wire is that you need to be very careful not to stretch out your stitches or squash them flat, because you'll find it very difficult then when you come back to work your next row to get the hook through. So you want to leave the wires nice and loose if you can, so that you can easily come back through with your next row. So for this project I am using a grey-green frizzled wire, and I'm using that with a light gold frizzled wire, and that gives me this lovely sparkly effect. We sell a lot of smooth wires on the site. You can use those as well, but you won't get this nice effect. So what I've done is I've chained 55. That's the right size for my wrist. I've got particularly tiny wrists, so you may want to just check when you've done the chain that it goes around your wrist. So I've just brought the wire through the clasp on the other end, and I've just now done 2 or 3 chains, and I'm just going to work a row of single crochet all the way back down through that chain until I reach the other end. When you're putting your clasp on the other end, do make sure that it's the other way up from your one on the other end, otherwise they won't fit together. So you've got a stop end and you've got an open end on these clasps, and they need to be obviously opposing so that they will slide together. So I've just then done a single crochet all the way up to the other end. I'm just going to now poke the needle through, bring that wire through this little loop here, and just catch it with a little stitch. This is so tricky because I actually really need a slightly smaller crochet hook. I'm using a 1.5 crochet hook. I've just done a stitch there, and I'm going to actually now stick it through the loop again, just so that we can bring it up the height to start the next row. So the next row I'm going to work in treble crochet stitches. If you're American, you'll call these doubles. We in the UK we call these trebles. So I'm just going to start another length of wire, and I'll start that off just by bringing it through the loop. You start and you stop in exactly the same way as you do with regular crochet on this, and there's no real difference, and you just snip the loose threads off when you're done with them. There is no need to weave them in as you may do with thread. They won't come unravelled because they're wire. They tend to hold their shape really well. So I'm doing this row of trebles along here into the row of single crochets that I did before. So basically this bracelet is a row of chain, it's a row of single, a row of treble, a row of single in the middle, then a row of treble, and then another row of single to finish off on the other edge. This project you'll be able to get through easily in an afternoon. It won't take you very long at all if you are used to crochet. You'll need about 5 or 6 pieces of the bullion wire. You get 6 pieces in a pack for £2.99, and obviously you need the 2 colours as well. So we do free shipping on orders of £5 in the UK. So if you're in the UK, you can just order a couple of these to try it out and see if you get on with it. It's a really great way of using these bullion wires and getting an effect that you won't easily get with any other sort of wire. So I'm just attaching this clasp now, and I'm just going to come back along now and do another row of stitches, this time a row of singles. And I'm sorry if my hands are off shot for a little bit, but it's quite difficult to do this and keep your hands and keep looking at the video camera at the same time, so I do apologise if I slide off frame a little bit. So there are very many different colours of this wire available on the website if you want to go and have a look. Each of these bracelets will use about 10 strands, 5 of each colour. You get 6 strands in a pack for £2.99. So you can choose the colours that you want, and we do free postage in the UK provided your order is over £5 in value. So I'm just stretching out some more here. I've come to the end of my thread. There are about 4 or 5 metres in each of the little bullion strands when you've stretched it out, so you don't have to do this too often. So I've just done a little slip knot there, and I'm just poking through a stitch behind my last stitch on the row. I'm just bringing the wire through with a little bit of difficulty. The second from last stitch. You don't want to come through the last stitch because you'll open it up, and you don't want that. So just do a little slip stitch there, then stitch through the head of your previous stitch with, again, just a slip stitch, and then just continue in exactly the same way as you were before. The little ends there you can just snip off as soon as you're ready. You don't have to weave them in or anything. So I've finished that single row now. I'm just going to come back through one of the little loops here. So now I'm just going to do another row of treble stitches, or doubles if you are an American person and you're using that system. So at the end of the row of trebles, I'm just coming back through a little loop on this end, and I do a couple of chains, come back through the top loop then, and just finish off with a row of single crochet which goes all the way to the other end and then finishes off in the top loop on the other end of the clasp. So that's our little rainy day project there. It hasn't taken very long at all. Looks beautiful when it's done this. Because the wire is so fine, you get a really beautiful result. You can crochet with thicker wires. If you buy wire on a reel, it will be a lot thicker than this, and you don't get quite such a lovely result. You get something that's a lot coarser, and you can crochet beads into this as well as you're going along, and I might do a video on that in the future, so that you can jazz your little bracelet up by stitching in beads and all sorts of things along the way and make it look really lovely. So that's the basis of how to do a plain one. You can work on that and turn it into whatever you like. So please support the making of these videos by buying your bullion wires from our website. You can see the website at the top right of the video frame there. It's www.craftyattic.com. We ship UK for free over £5. We ship worldwide for free over £25. It's about $40 if you're in the USA. And we get stuff to you via airmail if you're not in the UK, so we'll get stuff to you as quick as we can. So there's our finished little bracelet. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel and get all of my latest videos as soon as they're available. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.